Good morning. Wonderful Saturday morning. It is earlier on. We had some rain. We were going to put up a yard sale today, but yikes, first thing in the morning we had rain, and now it has sort of stopped, but it's still quite chilly out there, and it doesn't necessarily look like the rain is actually finished. So I guess yard sale is going to be on hold. Yes, quite a few items on the yard sale we wanted to have, we want people to pay with TBC for, which obviously is going to raise some questions. What is TBC? Well, our episode, or my episode this morning, is not just about TBC, because we are incorporating another, a friend of mine and me together. We're doing this project. We are incorporating another sort of a strategy that we're incorporating something else with it, and that is free energy. The reason we are so passionate about doing this and generating free energy, creating units that generate free energy is because of the well, it's actually there's more than one component to that reason, or to the more than several ideas or several things involved. And one of them is that the power structure, the delivery structure on the wires and the poles and all that, well, it's easily disrupted when we have storms, thunderstorms, high winds, or whatever. Like just a couple of weeks ago, we had some very high winds here, and various places the power line poles were broken, and so we had power outages in many places for several days. Okay, those kind of disruptions do not happen with the Searl effect generator. Okay, now another thing that also happens with the power as it is supplied to us is that the smart meters are dangerous. They send out microwave pulses, which actually create cancer in people, or kill bees and things like that. They are dangerous to the environment, and so that is a huge factor why we need to come up with something that is healthy and is good. Another factor that we can eliminate is the monthly bill. Since the 50s, there would have never been a need for these power bills that we're paying every month, because the unit was already, the generator was already designed, and a few of them made back in the 50s, and they work great. They are healthy, they are reliable, but that project was quickly brought to an end, and so the propaganda was always spread to the general public that that there was no way of creating perpetual power of any sort. And thank you for joining me, Pavitra. Yeah, and so our aim is to start creating these units. Now, I know there are already some people working on them and are making them, but what they are doing is they are creating them just in one central place and sort of providing them to the market as which. For one, we believe that the units, excuse me, that the units don't need to be nearly as high priced as they are at this point. And of course, it is something new, so usually the prices are much higher. And then later, as the as units get produced in mass production, is when the prices come down. Well, what our aim is to roll these out to the people that need them most in places where there is no service. You know, living here in Canada, and people who live in the States probably, and in some other countries as well that are more developed, we probably would think, well, there is no place where people don't have access to power, but that's actually not the case. There are people who do not have access, and so what we're doing, our part in this is to get crowdfunding so that we can produce these units in sort of in a decentralized way, because we want to create, build them in several countries at the same time where they're needed, and then roll them out to the people who need them most first, and then while we're doing that, as time passes, we will these here areas where we are, they will become available in the market, and as that happens, the resistance will sort of break down. That, like right now, if we would just here come out with units like that, that would be we would meet very, very strong resistance with the power companies that are supplying the power, and they are. And they are, of course, the controlling the force, but the government, right? That would put force on us, and so it would create a pretty huge difficulty at this point. But if we roll them out where they're needed most, and where we wouldn't have nearly as sharp resistance, or maybe hardly any, and maybe none, that would be best. There we could produce them and roll them out, and and eventually they will be accepted everywhere. And these units, they are healthy. They are completely environment friendly. There's no microwave pulses or anything like that. They are completely in harmony with nature. And the units are like 15 kilowatt units, which is plenty to power a house, a normally used house. So they're great units. And so then what we're doing along with that is also the billion coin. The billion coin was created to end global poverty, which is a wonderful opportunity at this time for building wealth. Now, the coin. At this point, we have a what we call a cookie rewards program, which simply means that when people buy at least 100 US dollars worth of the coin, then they get cookies which they can redeem for one full TBC coin. Well, one full TBC coin at the moment is over $3 million worth, right? So it's a it is a very aggressive wealth building way of building wealth, or I should say. So that is how just in simple terms how that works. And what we're doing then is like, see, one of the things that that users of TBC want is they want to be able to use the TBC for purchasing. Well, what we have to realize is that the economy that is currently driven fiat, fiat money driven, you can't just come in with a different system and expect it to switch over automatically. It doesn't work that way. So TBC needs to be spread out enough to create its own economy, and thereby sort of making the fiat economy obsolete, and that the switch would slowly go over to the billion coin economy. Now, the billion coin is not debt based, as is the fiat system. And it is, matter of fact, it's the exact opposite. It is very easy to build wealth. And at this point, it takes patience because enough people have to come aboard in order to create the new economy. So the billion coin is, we're aiming to, the price of the billion coin keeps going up as more people come on board until we reach 1 billion. Oh, hi, Adam. Thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, it's awesome. I love having people come on. Obviously, I think everybody does. So so what we're doing is we not need to expand the economy, and to the point where we have 1 billion users, and at that point the price of the coin is going to lock in. Okay. All right. So let me get back to the Searl effect generator units, as we so we accept donations on our website for this project. So and we're incorporating the use of the billion coin with it. So if a person wants to donate just a small donation, say from $50 to $100 worth, well, we accept that in TBC. If a person donates from anywhere from 200 all the way up to 100,000 in cryptocurrencies of any, well, not really any kind. There's 4 different ones that we accept, and that is Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Dash. So any of those 4, if a person donates more than 5,000, well, let me say this first, more than 200, okay, we then send TBC, or 50% of that donation, back to the user in TBC. So if a person donates, say $200 worth, then we would send $100 worth to back to that person in TBC, which means they can then redeem cookies, cookie rewards, to get one full TBC coin. And as I just mentioned earlier, that is at the moment worth over 3 million, and will keep going up until we reach a billion members, a billion users, right? So that is how that works. And also people who make a donation of 5,000 or more, we will then also make available to them one of the, you know, once we start rolling out the units to people, that we will also then make a unit available for them. All right, so those are the things that how we're running the program. And so there's more actually going to be coming up, because we're going to need people as well in the mission, in different you know, in different capacities, like perhaps managers, some places to manage projects, and to various things like that. So that's there is going to be more coming up on the website on things like that, and along with applications and those sort of things, right? So we are just beginning this project, and but people can already participate, and, you know, already start doing donations. And the sooner we do that, the quicker we will get the ball rolling, so we can move away from this dangerous power structure that we now have, the way it's being delivered to us, and so on, and the disruptions that we have at times. We can eliminate those things along with the monthly bills, right? So that is the aim. It hasn't been necessary for a long time that you know, all these bills for power. The same thing in vehicles. There is no need for to have fuel burning engines in there, and cause the pollution in the air from them running. Actually, the same thing happens with generating power with the coal generation, especially the nuclear. Oh man, that is such you know, that radiation is so dangerous, and there's no need to play with that stuff. There's no need for that. And now another thing that I would just like to inject here is just imagine the you know, how much easier life would already be with just the fact that you wouldn't need to put fuel in your vehicles, and you wouldn't have a monthly power bill, you wouldn't have a monthly heating bill. All of that would be eliminated. In the summertime, when people use air conditioners, well, then they have charge extra because of using air conditioners. Well, none of that is necessary. There's no need for that. We can have this generated for free. There's the technology has been available since in the 50s, and so you know, we're just now beginning to create these units, because that technology was suppressed all this time, and like that's for like 60 years, that maybe more than 60 years even, that this technology has been laying dormant, because it was being suppressed by the corporations, which are actually controlled by the central banks. And so that power structure is just it's heinous. It's crime. It's criminal. Now, if you visit myfree.energy, I have links on there that if you aren't familiar with the Rothschild banking system and with the major corporations and all of that stuff, how that works and whatever, I have some links on there also about the smart meters, what the smart meters do and stuff like that. There's a link on there that leads to stopthecrime.net, and on there you can find out all that stuff, like about the smart meters and things like that. So again, actually, I want to inject another if you're watching this and you haven't gotten in on the Telegram ICO, that ICO, I'm not sure exactly how long it's still on. I think it's almost over, and their coin is also going to be only going up in price as more wallets are created. The coin goes up, so that will be a very good coin to get some of, because I believe that the price of that coin is going to skyrocket really, really high and fast, because they have like hundreds of millions of users, and if you look at their white paper, they're not creating a whole lot of coin, like not a very high number that they're selling. And I read it on there that once the sale is over, the rest of the coins that have been mined will be burnt, so that there will never be more coins than what they're selling, which is not all that high of a number. So it can be a very good, very profitable thing to get some of those coins. And now, while that ICO is on, anyhow, back to TBC. Again, like the Telegram, I think it's going to be a great coin, and it's going to be very high in price and so on, but it's not going to nearly be able to replace the economy that TBC is creating, because ultimately our like TBC, the coin is going to be worth over $2 billion per coin, over $2 billion per coin, because each the breakdown of the coin, what we call kringles, each kringle is going to be worth 1 grain of gold. All right, so and that puts a TBC coin over 2 billion per coin. So we're going to have a million billionaires and a billion millionaires. That is pretty much how that is going to work out in the end, right? Okay, so thank you very much for watching this episode. I'm going to sign off, because I have a few other things I also want to get done, but I still wanted to have do a short presentation, or a short hangout this morning. And so I want to thank you so much, Adam and Pabitra. Thank you so much for being with me, and hopefully see you again tomorrow. My hangout tomorrow again is going to be at 9:30 as well. So till then, have a wonderful day and a wonderful time. Enjoy your day, and peace.